Types of men to avoid at all cost. Number one, I like to call this one the nighttime lane. This is the one that hits you up after dark. You're not a priority. You're just convenient. Number two, the I miss you texter. Now, this is the one that doesn't really miss you. Shocking. He's actually busy living his life without you. And normally, on a random day after he's hungover, he'll hit you up on like a Tuesday, maybe 2 a.m., maybe 2 p.m. Number three, the confused man. Nope, he's not confused. He just doesn't want you enough.
You know what, guys? This woman is sitting here telling us all of the types of men to avoid, but I guarantee you she has hooked up with all of these different kinds of men. I find it funny when women do videos like this of like, oh, you shouldn't deal with a man who's a narcissist or a man who messages you late at night because he only wants to hook up. But the only reason these women know this, and they repeat it so many times, is because they have been with all of them. But what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again with some ridiculous video clips for you here today. We're going to be returning to that woman later on, but we're going to be kicking it off with this woman first. And this is a crazy clip, okay? This is a woman who is 22 years of age. And as far as I know, it was told to me when this clip was sent that this woman has over $100,000 in debt at age 22. So let's jump into it, guys. Let's take a look at some of these ridiculous clips. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments.
I'm 22 years old and I have $37,515 worth of credit debt. I also have a $7,992 student loan. I also still owe $55,829 on my car.
Why on earth would you get a $55,000? What kind of car did this woman buy? A $55,000 car loan? She has $37K in credit card debt at 22. This is ridiculous, guys. And this is the kind of crap I'm talking about, man, when I say that, you know, oftentimes women, especially modern day women, are just a complete liability to date. Because you already know when these women go out here and date men, they have their debt in the back of their mind. That's why they look for meal tickets, because they know they have a ridiculous amount in credit card debt or student loan debt or whatever the case may be. So many of these women, guys, you know what they're bringing to the table? They are bringing themselves, who have been through a great many of men and a ridiculous amount of credit card debt. It's disgusting. A $55.8 thousand. I'm assuming this is US dollars as well. So, you know, US dollars is, depending on where you live, probably, you know what, in fact, it probably is just straight up more than whatever currency you're watching this from if you're not in America. 55.8 thousand US dollars. This isn't, you know, Australian dollars, okay? This is US dollars. Holy hell. Crazy.
$55,829 on my car. In total, I have about $100,000 worth of debt. If you're anything like me, you haven't made any credit card payments in over 6 months. You have creditors calling you every single day, and you're feeling hopeless. But don't stress out. There's an answer to everything, and you'll get through this. I'll get through this. We'll get through this together.
Oh my goodness. Don't stress out. Madam, you should be stressing so much. You should have a great deal of anxiety over this. Owing over $100,000. You know, man, it's funny to me because men are expected to be the providers in relationships. You know, we're expected to pay the bills, take the women out on dinner dates, work really hard and things like this. And granted, this is a pretty extreme case to have 100K in debt, especially at this age. But I'll just be straight up honest, guys. So many of the women, modern day women these days, are completely financially irresponsible. And then what they do is they go out there and they try and date dudes who will make up for her financial mistakes, right? Some dude who worked hard, who is actually smart with his money. She's now going to go and look for these men because of all of the debt that she herself has accrued. Crazy.
As of today, my credit score is a 498. So join me on this journey to pay off my debts. We'll see how high I can get my credit score. I'm also not here to give financial advice, obviously. I'd probably be the worst person for that, but If you want to watch me tackle this debt, I'll keep my TikTok updated. And yeah.
Absolutely horrible. Yeah, so what better thing to do, right? When you have $100,000 in debt, what better thing to do than to continue to upload consistently to TikTok? Maybe you should go out there and take work very seriously, okay? Because holy hell. Let's continue into this next clip here. This was the one that I played in the intro, but we also have a few more. This is the types of men to avoid. This woman looks to be in her 20s, okay? And so what she's going to do is obviously list the types of men to avoid. But guys, please understand this. Whenever women make lists like this, the only reason why they make these lists is because they have been with these men previously, right? Let's jump in.
Types of men to avoid at all cost. Number one, I like to call this one the nighttime lane. This is the one that hits you up after dark. You're not a priority. You're just convenient. Number two.
Yeah, so this is absolutely correct, by the way. The reason why these dudes hit you up in the nighttime is because they're only looking for a bit of fun and they don't want to take you out during the daytime, right? I find it funny, guys. Women will be like, men have to plan dates. They have to take us out on dates. But ironically enough, the majority of men, especially the ones that these women want, don't even want to put in the effort to take them outside during the day. It's so funny how these women will simultaneously say that this is a red flag, and yet so many of the men that these women have dated do this exact same thing.
To the I miss you texter. Now, this is the one that doesn't really miss you. Shocking. He's actually busy living his life without you. And normally, on a random day after he's hungover, he'll hit you up on like a Tuesday, maybe 2 a.m., maybe 2 p.m. Number three, the confused man. Nope, he's not confused. He just doesn't want you enough. Sorry.
Yeah, so what she's talking about here is the confused man is the man that she has pushed for a relationship with, but he says that he's at a confusing point in his life. He doesn't really know what he's doing right now, and he just gives her a vague answer. Now, the reason why men give vague answers like this is I think this woman is absolutely correct. The man does not want to commit to you. He does not want a relationship with you. That's why these men are vague. Women always say that men are so manipulative, they're so hard to read. It's like if a dude is unsure about being with you or he's confused, he obviously doesn't want to be with you. It's really quite clear, man. But so many women, they still hook up with these men. They still go out with these exact same men who are confused. The men are not confused. They just don't want you. They're trying to put it politely and continue to have their bedroom fun with you, which, by the way, these women absolutely allow.
And last but not least, the narcissist. Now, this is the love bomber. This is the person that makes everything about him. And this is the person that gaslights the shit out of you. Now, we're going to just run away from all four of these because you're learning from me. Do as I say, not as I do.
And even at the end, what is this, man? Even at the end, she tells on herself. She says, do as I say, not do as I do. So she doesn't even follow her own advice. This is crazy. So the last one there was don't date a narcissist. Just by the way, these women, without any sort of, actual prescription, are prescribing these men as narcissists. Like they call men narcissists, but they have no way of factually backing it up whatsoever other than their determinant that the man is a narcissist. And usually what that means is the man says no, and the man doesn't want to have a relationship with her, which obviously is an absolutely huge problem for these women. Notice how the majority of women's problems, at least over on TikTok, come from the fact that men don't actually want to take them seriously. I find that to be absolutely endlessly funny. Let's continue into the next clip here. Guys, I haven't seen these ones that we're about to jump into, right? I can see what they look like ahead of time before I pull them up, and all of them just look completely terrible. Check this one out. Pretty girls are some of the most loyal girls in the world. Let's take a listen to this one.
Are some of the most loyal girls. This is something guys don't understand. Pretty girls are used to attention, especially if they've been pretty their whole lives. Attention is like nothing new. A guy hitting on them is nothing new. A guy offering them things is nothing new. They have their pick of the litter. They can get someone at any time.
I mean, this is true of any woman, by the way. Pretty much every single woman. Okay, it doesn't matter. You can have a woman out here who looks like a bowling ball, okay? she still has an incredible amount of options. It doesn't matter, right? Like women still have significant power in the dating market to be able to choose a boyfriend, to be able to choose a husband. The only question is, what caliber of man can she actually lock down? Okay, so like let's cut the nonsense here. Every woman has options, even the crazy ones, even the ones who don't know what a treadmill looks like or who can't actually watch their diet, for example. All of them have a ridiculous amount of options. So get the hell out of here with that. Also, I do find it funny how women will make these videos talking about the treatment that pretty women get. Obviously, the not so subtle insinuation here is that these women are one of the pretty girls who are loyal. Do you know what I mean? I think people who make videos like this, it's like there's an insinuation that they're pretty and it just comes off really bad. Let's continue.
So if they're choosing a guy, he won. Some other guy hitting on her is not going to turn her head. If she wanted her head turned, she could get that at any point. Just trust me, the attention does not stop just because she's in a relationship. What I'm trying to reiterate is that it's nothing special. So nobody stands out. The only person that stands out is the person she picks, and then her eyes are set on him. She
Let's cut the nonsense here, guys. Like let's just cut the BS. Women still actively consider their options even while in a relationship. Let me ask you guys this question, okay? For the majority of modern women who are actually in a relationship with a man, do you really think that they don't know who the next man is if their relationship discontinues? They absolutely do. These women are prospecting new men all of the time. It doesn't matter if she has a fiance. It doesn't matter if she has a 10-year boyfriend. It doesn't matter if she has a marriage. So many of these women are still actively, collecting men in the background. Oh, I could get with this guy next. This man's also an option. This man has XYZ going for him, and so on and so forth. I'm sorry, guys, but I don't think many modern day women are loyal whatsoever, especially the ones making TikTok videos. Especially the ones with 10,000 followers and things like this. Like, oh, hell no. Because oftentimes you've got to understand, guys, when women have these social media applications as well, a chunk of their followers actually consist of men that they use to message or men who they've actively hooked up with. Let's keep going.
doesn't search for external validation. She doesn't need it, especially not from men. She's been getting it her whole life. She always has it. That's kind of just true for anything. Like, you have something, a lot of it, it's not that special anymore.
And you know what, by the way, this comment about women, quote unquote, pretty women not needing validation. Have you seen the majority of women's Instagram feeds? Like, they need validation. Why do you think they post so many photos of themselves? Like, oh, I post these photos of myself to the internet, to the public for myself. It's like, no, they don't. Oh, I wear this particular outfit out on the town, but I do it for myself. Like, come on, man. How many times are we going to pull this card as women? Women don't need validation, guys. We just do it for ourselves. Yeah, okay.
There's a new tier of the things that you need from people. And attention is just, that doesn't cut it anymore. She just wants love. I'd be more scared of the girls who grew up ugly and then grew up. Internally, sometimes that trauma doesn't go away. And even if externally they're very pretty, in their head, they're still seeing themselves as that ugly girl. And external validation feeds that void and insecurity that she doesn't know how to fill. With those girls, there's a chance their heads might turn.
I'm sorry, but so many of modern day women, guys, like, they absolutely require validation. They will still seek it even while in a relationship. I actually see so many women who go out there, they get into a relationship with a man, and you already know it's doomed to begin with, because even while in relationships, they're out here posting like bikini photos, actively trying to get attention from random men on social media. Like, it's completely insane. And then if you as the man, you go, hey, I don't like this behavior, then you're the one that gets called insecure, by the way. Right? If a man ever has a problem with it, he's always the one that gets called insecure. Let's continue into the next clip here. Not really sure what this one is. We are going to be talking about standards, it seems like. Now, guys, don't ask me why these women always feel the need to do makeup during their videos. They're either like doing makeup oftentimes or in their car. I don't know. We see like one of these at least every video, I swear. Let's jump into it. As we're talking about standards, it seems, which of course the women have none. as I play the video muted. Nice one, Taylor. Let's jump in.
The scene, women with high standards are more obsessed with how they're treated. A woman with low standards is more likely to people please in order to be seen as generous, whereas a woman with high standards is more likely to want to be treated like a goddess so that she can actually give with genuine reciprocation.
I'm sorry, but anyone who uses the word goddess unironically is to be avoided, in my opinion. And every woman who makes a TikTok video talking about standards has absolutely no standards for men that are attractive. This is why I'm so sick of these videos, man. It's because the women don't even tell the truth in the videos. You know, they could get on here and tell the truth about things, but they just actively do not. All these women who talk about standards, guys, please understand that they have absolutely none for Chad. The man who's highly attractive, who's tall, you know, low body fat percentage, got the muscles, got the jawline, okay, the facial symmetry, the genetics. Like, you really think that she's going to have standards for the men that are highly attractive? No, they don't. And typically you can tell this because when you ask women about how dating is going, they will usually tell you that it's going terribly. Translation, the men won't commit to her. Let's continue.
A woman with low standards centers her identity around being chosen. A woman with high standards gatekeeps her values for the right man. A woman of low standard talks badly about herself so that others will feel inclined to rescue her, but a woman of high value decides her worth before others decide it for her.
Do women of high value make very annoying TikTok videos? That's my question. I would probably argue no. Again, all of this talk about, oh, high value women, low value women, you know, standards, high standards, low standards. I mean, none of it matters, guys. Just here's the thing, throw all of it out the window. The women have high standards for men who are unattractive. They have low standards for men who are actually attractive. This is why, you know, they start to create these sky-high list of demands as they get older, is because they're looking for that provider. And usually the guy who's going to provide for them is not as attractive as the man that they used to be able to get when they were 23 years of age.
A woman of low standard measures her worth off a man's effort. A woman of high standard measures a man's worth off his effort. It's the subtle mindset shift that you can adopt by taking your power back from the good girl conditioning that is designed to keep you weak and feeble and running back to the same companies that act like they are the savior to your low self-worth. Don't let your confidence and your high self-worth be policed out of you. You deserve to have high standards and you deserve to have people who meet them.
What is with crazy women on TikTok using the word deserve? You know what I mean? When was like the last time you actively heard a dude asserting on a TikTok video that men deserve X from women? You know what I'm saying? No qualifications requested whatsoever, guys. Like, none at all. The women watching this video are probably completely crazy, mind you. But like, this woman has no way of knowing whether or not her audience even deserves quality treatment from men in the first place. It's just like, yes, are you a woman? Are you alive? Yes, you deserve fantastic treatment from men. Why? No idea. I genuinely have no idea. These people are brought up to believe that they just deserve crap simply for existing. It's amazing. Let's continue into the next one. The truth about attraction. All right, let's hear it, madam.
Let me tell you how wild psychology works, okay? I'm going to share something that's going to blow your mind about how women view men. So I was talking to this guy, and he's a celebrity, and he was telling me about a time that he met another celebrity.
Wow, so we're immediately flexing or trying to flex that we've been talking to a man who's a celebrity. Again, guys, it's always I'm talking to a man or I was speaking to this man. Still no ring though.
Female celebrity, very high profile, at this award event, okay? And the first time they met, she barely paid any attention to him. Barely even looked his way. Said hello, meet and greet, whatever. Weeks go by. This time there's another event that he shows up at with a very high profile female by his arm, okay? Suddenly, the OG woman was all over him. She was just begging for his attention at the party. Here's the thing. Men don't understand that the caliber of the woman that they have on their side instantly changes the way women perceive them.
I think a lot of men understand this. This is something called social proof, guys. It's also called mate copying. I mean, women actively choose men who already have women. There are a lot of guys who don't know this yet, but there are also a lot of guys who do. And this is how, by the way, so many women completely screw themselves over is because they only have interest in these men. The women essentially, how interesting is this? The women are essentially forming their own harems and then complaining about it. You know what I mean? So they go out here, they all date the same small group of men, and then they complain that these men are not committing to them, that the men are not interested, the men are not setting dates, and the men are very vague. And it's like, of course, these men have zero reason to commit to you whatsoever. If you add on top of that the fact that many of these women are incredibly entitled, they have very little feminine qualities, if at all, they refuse to do anything nice for a man, and so on, of course, the men that you are actively chasing are never going to choose you. I find that to be endlessly funny, how women will simultaneously create this exact same problem and then cry and complain that these men exhibit so many red flags and they're terrible. They could just go and date some other dude. They could date your quote-unquote average Joe who only makes a mere $65,000 a year. You know what I mean? But they don't want to do that. They want to date the guy who makes a significant amount of money, who's highly attractive, that all of the other women are interested in. And it's made worse if she was actually able to hook up with these dudes previously, because now she's going to be feeling like she deserves this guy. You see, because she's already given her body to him, right? He already accepted it. She's already been in his apartment. You know, they've already exchanged words and things like this. So obviously she deserves that caliber of man, is the way that they think.
Attention at the party. Here's the thing. Men don't understand that the caliber of the woman that they have on their side instantly changes the way women perceive them. When a woman sees you with a powerful, confident, high-value woman, automatically she will think to herself, wait, what's special about him that she chose him?
Okay, this is where she starts to get a little bit lost in the sauce. I think it comes down to more the fact that the dude just has women to begin with, but I don't think confidence and power play so much of a role in this. Like, a dude can be with a woman who's incredibly beautiful, who's quiet and pleasant to be around. Maybe she's still a bit shy, and the women are still going to, you know, have a lot of interest in that man if he has that woman there, right? The woman that he's with doesn't need... Women get this wrong idea as well. Like, this is a little bit of a tangent, but they get the wrong idea. They seem to think that men are attracted to women who are powerful and confident. You know what I mean? Like we are looking for women who are making 100K plus a year, who puff their chest out and who talk very assertively and confidently. It's like, no, men are not actively searching for these qualities, by the way, or at least the grand majority of them are not whatsoever. And I don't think it takes a confident and powerful woman to create competition anxiety in other women. I don't think that's needed at all. In fact, you're probably going to create more anxiety if the man's with her and she's not powerful, she's not confident, she's nothing. She's just pleasant to be around. I think that would cause more of an issue with these women. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what I think. Women will still just actively chase the dudes who have a bunch of female attention.
The curiosity and the interest will automatically peak. Especially if it's a woman that's highly respected too, you know, highly favored. It's not about looks, it's not about charm, it's about what you represent in the eyes of the woman who respect the woman that you're with.
I mean, it also is about looks, but actually I'm starting to agree more with this woman, actually, that the status of the woman matters. And the reason why, I'm just now thinking this through properly, is that let's just say you have a quote unquote high status and powerful woman, right? Women who are highly successful don't want to date dudes who are less successful than them. So perhaps what's being signaled to the other women here is like, oh, you know, if she has 500,000 followers on Instagram and she's dating him, then he must be more valuable than that. Or she's making millions of dollars, right? She's a celebrity who's making millions of dollars. So this guy, the only reason she would select him is if he was making more and had more status than her. So maybe that's also the metric that they are using. I could also see that one. But guys, we are going to be leaving today's episode there. I don't really want to listen to these women anymore. Not worth thinking about. So I'm going to be leaving it there. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Peace.